have faith.
Joe.
He's Patrick Mahomes, Zachary.
And he has looked like not Patrick Mahomes the whole start of the season.
Why are you going to a second overtime with this team? You really want a shootout with Caleb Williams?
There's a problem, Kurt.
Don't hate me. Hate the light pole. Don't hate me. Hate the light pole.
If you say the Bucks, it was the Lions. Whatever. They lost. Here's
Beautiful
why.
game, by the way.
Here's why they lost.
I have been on the Lions side since day one.
I keep breaking my chair.
Zach just went right for Joe's chin there. And we are live. Episode 5. Under the Lights live. Ooh. Episode 5. We're back with you guys. Per the usual, Thursday night. We love being with you guys here on Thursday nights. We're covering Thursday night football. As always, we'll get into some NFL power ratings here in a little bit after we make our picks for the game tonight. And then we'll get to Spread to Spread, our segment at the end here where we give you some of the best bets for this weekend, college football, NFL. Hopefully you guys can win along with us a little bit. We've had, other than Joe, who's dominating right now, we've had a couple back-to-back bad weeks here, but we're still ahead. Everybody is still ahead of 50%. So we're positive. We're hoping to keep positive after this week, obviously. With that said,
I'm going 100.
With that said, it's Thursday. There's a football game starting very soon. That football game has the Steelers at home taking on the Tennessee Titans. The battle for 500.
Bunker Hill.
The battle for 500. We've had a lot of really fun, really good Thursday night football games so far. I would call this a very good Thursday night football game, but I think this is by far one of our hardest Thursday night football games to predict, because both of these teams are teams that I strongly avoid in terms of bets every single week. These are two teams that are very hard to predict which way they're going to go, wins and losses wise. I gotta put myself in and a few other things we're going to explain here in a bit of why we think this might be one of our hardest games to pick. Basic thoughts. What are we thinking about tonight's game?
I'm ready to see Will Levis.
Me too.
Again, he's going against struggling pass offense or pass defense, and I think we're going to see Will Levis kind of shine again. I'm excited to see this offense. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a pretty solid game. I'm not going to give away too much at the very beginning, but this is going to be a very good game, and I'm excited for an AFC matchup here.
For me, this is a Mike Tomlin game. I think Mike Tomlin is going to have his fingerprints all over this. Yes, their pass defense has been kind of suspect recently. He's going to start throwing in a couple more blitzes, switch up the coverages, try to get Will Levis, get that rookie confused back there. I like the Steelers in this one. The offense is still very shaky. Don't trust the offense. Najee's looking a little bit better, which is something that could be taken into effect. I think they need to get Pickens the ball more. But that being said, I like the Steelers.
I like that as well. Get George Pickens the ball for sure. Two young quarterbacks facing off in this one. Two fairly good defenses facing off in this one. Titans, one of the best red zone defenses in the league, could keep the Steelers out of check here early in this game. But we'll see. I'm excited for this Levis versus Pickett matchup here. You could see, in a probably low-scoring game, you could realistically see a lot of airing the ball out because neither of these teams defend the pass all that well. And obviously, Titans just lost Byard as well. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Both quarterbacks could really air it out a little bit here. Getting into some of our notes on this game here. Both teams are full of struggles. Titans struggle on the road. They're 0-4, I believe, if you count the London loss, which you do. They're 0-4 on the road this season. Steelers haven't been great at home either. Steelers are battling Kenny Pickett injuries. I think he's still a game-time decision as of now.
When I was looking it up before, he was a game-time decision because he hurt his chest in practice this week.
Okay. We'll see. I don't think he participated in practice today, but on short weeks, a lot of times you don't see your key guys participate a whole lot.
Yes.
So we'll see where that goes. Pickett obviously battling his injuries. The Steelers are just 2-2 at home this season, looking to improve to 3-2, but 2-2 at home. Kenny Pickett. Pickett has gotten off to slow starts a lot this year. Could be, again, due to several different injuries. The dude's battled, I think, 2 different ones. I think he's battled a knee injury and possibly a shoulder injury. But first quarters this season, he is 19 of 37 throwing the ball for just 204 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions, and he has taken 6 sacks.
Yeah. And I think that's where Tennessee kind of shines. They don't come out of the gates hot. They're not a great team, obviously, but like they don't never have a good, like, stellar first quarter. But that defensive line has looked pretty solid throughout the season. And if I'm the Steelers and how shaky their offensive line is, I as much as I don't want to say this, they could lose Kenny Pickett this game with how many injuries he's battling.
Good.
And there's a very good chance that he gets a lot of pressure this game.
Kenny Pickett is one of the most hit quarterbacks in the league alongside guys like Sam Howell and Justin Fields. When you don't have the offensive line, they tried to rebuild a couple spots through the offseason. I believe some of them are hurt. They have a new rookie, tackle that they're still trying to mold into what they want. A couple good big tight ends that they just drafted as well. I feel like they should be more involved in the run game. I think that is and should be where this team should start and run and get their offense going. Is getting Najee going, getting God, I can't think of the rookie they just picked up.
Najee is one of the worst running backs in the NFL right now.
Yeah, he is.
No, but they need to get him going. They need to get him going.
But he is getting under
when he looks
under 13 carries a game right now with how bad his production has been. Also, Sam Howell, just one quick second. He's been sacked 33 times this season for, I think, like 234 yards.
He's on pace to get sacked like 92 times or something like that, and it beats the record by like 36.
Continue, Zach.
When Najee Harris is playing well, that offense clicks. Yeah. Like it gets Kenny Pickett in the groove. It's crazy how much all NFL teams rely on getting a run game established because it's insane how much that opens up the pass,
especially for
Pittsburgh. You can do play actions and stuff. It's crazy.
You don't have a ton of weapons in Pittsburgh to just air the ball out to. You have to get your run game going, and with Najee Harris not being able to establish anything so far this season, it really has not helped him out. Back to struggles here. The Titans are down Ryan Tannehill, obviously. Will Levis is going to have to step up. He looked really good his first game, but his second game has to come in primetime in Pittsburgh against Mike Tomlin, against TJ Watt. You might see some struggles in this game. You might see the young quarterback come out of Will Levis for sure here. Add on the fact that Will Levis is down one of his best tackles in Chris Hubbard. You're going to have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith coming at you all night. We're going to see how he reacts to that because he had a pretty favorable first matchup. We're going to see how he reacts to a strong pass rush in Pittsburgh. Not even against Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh.
Who did they play last week?
They got to take down, oh my Lord. It was Titans. I'm blanking.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm struggling on that one. But Chris Hubbard is obviously a huge loss, but like one of the things, I mean, it's very similar to the Falcons. And they have a pretty solid pass defense, kind of. They have AJ Terrell, who's not a pass rush. No, that's pretty much the only thing they have is AJ Terrell on that defensive side.
Levis wasn't really pressured a whole lot.
But very similar to the Steelers and the Titans, like they're very similar teams. They have solid defenses. They have good potential at offense, and they have running backs that are freaking good. Like Najee Harris obviously isn't to the level of Derrick Henry, but like Derrick Henry has started super slow and has picked up the last couple weeks, and I think he gets involved a lot and takes a lot of that pressure off of Will Levis. And I mean, that's why you'll see why I have picked what I picked.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that to a degree, but you haven't seen Levis take on any pressure, like I said, and his throwing game last week was like 4 receptions to DeAndre Hopkins for for 3 touchdowns, 138 yards. That's the majority of his game last week.
Is
so
he
we'll-
going to
we'll
have
see.
time to wind
Exactly.
up and throw those deep balls when he's got TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith around his hips and ankles, you know?
He also might not have to have time. He might not have to throw the ball a whole lot, which is where injuries come into play this game. We're going to get right into those. Normally I save the injury report till later, but injuries could make this game a lot more interesting. As mentioned before, obviously Chris Hubbard's going to be out. Will Levis will have even less time to throw, more than likely. D-Hop is questionable with a toe injury, but he is likely to play. He only didn't practice this week because D-Hop is notorious for not practicing and then coming out and being one of the best receivers in the league. So he's fine. He'll play. Even more interesting, though, Minkah Fitzpatrick was forced to leave the Steelers' last matchup with a hamstring injury. And some interesting numbers. The Steelers in pass coverage without Fitzpatrick versus without opponents complete 57.2% of passes for 7.4 yards per attempt. Without Fitzpatrick, opponents are completing 71.7% of their passes for 8.4 yards per attempt. But that's not even the biggest thing with a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's a utility guy. He's not just a coverage guy. He can do it all. He's an incredible blitz guy. He's sneaky. They're good at disguising him, getting him after the quarterback. He's good at run stuffing. He provides a lot to that Steelers defense. Him being out there and being as unpredictable as he is a big part of Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt being able to get to the quarterback as much as they can, because you gotta look out for him out there as well. And that makes his team really sneaky in their pass rush, which is why they get to the quarterback at the rate they do. So Fitzpatrick being out of this game could be really big for the Titans, because I talked about run stuffing. Well, I mean, you got one of the best running backs in the league here. Get Derrick Henry going early, and this could be a really big struggle game for the Steelers. It could get out of hand for the Steelers. You get Derrick Henry going, get D-Hop going, this game could realistically get a little ugly.
Yeah, Minkah Fitzpatrick is one of those players on the defensive side. When you lose him, you instantly see effects, because like you were saying, he does everything. He does the run stopping, he does the blitzing, he does the coverage. He can put you in a man, he can put it in zone, he can play press, he can play deep. He does it all. And obviously that drops someone off of DeAndre Hopkins, because that's primarily you probably would have seen guarding him in a one-on-one coverage. And yeah, I don't know. Something about this game is I was questioning it before, but the more I'm thinking about it, I like this Titans team a lot.
Tight ends have the worst fantasy production in the NFL when Minkah Fitzpatrick is covering them.
Minkah Fitzpatrick is definitely one of the key, if not the, premier piece in that secondary. You want him on the field every chance you can. Without him, like I said earlier, I think Tomlin's going to just have to game plan it. It's all going to be based completely solely on this game plan. Don't be surprised if you see Derrick Henry in a single back formation if the box doesn't have 9 guys in it.
Yeah.
True.
If you're
we see a 21 formation, yeah, the box is going to be loaded.
If you're betting the over under in this game, home and road struggles for both of these teams cannot be understated. Obviously, Tennessee 0-3 on the road this year, 0-4 if you count London. They have lost 7 straight games outside of Nissan Stadium, dating back to when they beat the Packers last year on the road. Titans score just 17 points per game at home. That is actually the same that the Steelers have averaged in their last 12 home games. So you're looking for a low-scoring matchup in this one. I about guarantee it. Legally, I don't, but I about guarantee you're looking for a really low-scoring matchup here, especially if Derrick Henry is your feature in this game. The Steelers can't really stop him, but the Steelers can't really get much going. I think you're looking for a really low-scoring game here. Fun fact, the Steelers have won this game 4 straight matchups.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
The Steelers have maybe Mike Tomlin has his number,
Maybe.
Or just the Titans have consistently sucked.
Whoa, that's not even
maybe
true,
maybe
though.
Mike Tomlin has, the Titans number.
Maybe Mike Tomlin has
That's
a lot
fair.
of teams' number. To be fair,
Mike Tomlin is one of the most underrated coaches in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. Don't dog this man.
He
Don't dog this man.
hasn't had a losing season in his whole career, which is insane.
Yeah, that's
Last year
nuts.
was close. Last year was close.
We taking that over or that under? I don't remember what it's set at, but regardless,
2.5.
average is it's what?
2.5.
No, the over under
on total score
is
average in NFL games is like 35.
This
points.
is gonna be under. This is gonna be an under game.
yeah,
for
whatever
sure.
it is. I would bet the under.
I didn't even look at the props for the over under. I never bet over under because
Watch it be like 37 or something.
maybe. I'd say go under in this game. I don't think you see a lot of offense get going. I don't think Levis has time to work his magic in this one. Well, I don't think D-Hop has time to allow Levis to work his magic in this one. But we'll see. Derrick Henry gets going. I just don't see
Over under is 36.5.
Yeah, I was right there. I was 1 point off. And Joe said watch it be 37. But either way, I don't see the Steelers getting much going on offense in this game. I really don't. If you can't get the run game going against this Titans team, I don't think a pass opens up for Kenny Pickett. And like Zach said, Kenny Pickett could go out at any point in this game as well because he's been battling several injuries. I don't see a lot going the Steelers' way. But with that said, we can get to some keys to victory here. I sat down and put together some of these this morning, looking over these teams a little bit. We'll start with the Titans. Turnovers. Titans are one of the worst teams in the league at forcing them, especially in the air. They have 2 interceptions so far this season. Kenny Pickett is going to give you those opportunities. You have to capitalize on those opportunities. Match Pittsburgh's physicality. I know the Titans can do it, but the Titans have to do it on defense. Keep drives behind the sticks. Do not let Kenny Pickett get going. Take advantage of a beaten up Steelers offensive line. The Titans don't have that great of a pass rush. You have to establish one tonight. You have to stuff the run. Do not let Najee Harris get going because like Zach said, Najee Harris could be the key to this game. Don't let him get going. Keep him behind the sticks. Match this team's physicality. Ease Will Levis in. You might not have to use him tonight. Use Derrick Henry.
Right.
Get Derrick Henry going. Get that run established. Let Will Levis do what a rookie is supposed to do. Play simple football. Play clean football. Don't make mistakes. Don't make him do too much. You might not have to, so don't force it. Big plays will be there. Don't force the big plays. As far as the Steelers go, you got to start fast. Like I said, Steelers don't start fast. Kenny Pickett doesn't start fast. You have to start fast in this game. You cannot dig a hole. You cannot dig a hole against Derrick Henry. You can't let that run get established and then let Will Levis take off. You have to start fast on your own. The Titans, like I said, one of the best red zone defenses in the league, only allowing touchdowns on 32% of red zone appearances this year.
That's absurd.
But you got to find a way to get in there against this team because you get up 10 points, that might be the game. Control the clock. Even if you can't start fast in terms of points against this squad, you've got to be clicking right away in terms of moving the ball. One of the Titans' keys was keep them behind the sticks. You got to stay ahead of the sticks here. You got to be clicking. You got to be moving the ball. Stay ahead of the chains. Limit mistakes. Limit chances for Derrick Henry to touch the ball. And you could have a shot in this game, especially with Minkah Fitzpatrick out. You have to keep your offense on the field in this game. Those are my keys there. And with that said, are we ready to make our picks? Let's make our picks. Zach, you've got a bet on this one. So I'm gonna let you start. What's your pick in this game?
So the spread is 2.5, and I like Tennessee on the road plus 2.5. I think this Tennessee team, I think they kind of get it clicking on offense. They showed how good that offense can be last week, and they showed how solid the defense can be. I think Will Levis looks really good, and he shows it again this week. And I think Derrick Henry does the bulk of this offense for them, and Will Levis does enough to win them games. And I mean, like you said, the turnovers is where this game is going to be won and lost. And I think Kenny Pickett will turn it over at least 2 times, and they'll look good. And I think Titans take this one. The other big thing is I don't remember. I blanked.
Spread is
I blanked.
2.5. I have the spread wrong on the screen. I did not even realize that. I have the spread at 4.5. The spread is 2.5. Either way, I am gonna piggyback.
I remember what I was gonna say.
What do you got?
The big thing is that red zone it's going to come down to field goals, and if they can stop them in the red zone, and they're one of the best red zone defenses in the league. It's a bend don't break kind of defense, and I think that's where this game's going to go won.
I like it. I'm gonna piggyback off
On
of
to
that.
you.
I think injuries. I think injuries are gonna hurt the Steelers in this one. I think Mike Tomlin is about to go under 500 at home, and I think Mike Tomlin might be on pace potentially for his first under 500 season. Schedule does not favor them, but we're talking this game tonight. I don't think the Steelers have the pieces tonight. I think Minkah Fitzpatrick being out is huge. I think your offensive line being banged up is going to open up for the Titans to do something they don't do very well, and that's create pressure. Creating pressure is going to create turnovers, another thing they don't do well. You're comboing too many things for the Titans to be able to open up and do tonight, along with Derrick Henry, along with Will Levis, being on emotional fire right now. I think there's too much firepower on this Titans team right now for the Steelers to come out and win this one. I'm not discrediting home field advantage. I just think this Titans team is going to start to pick it up. I think they're going to start to roll. They've got the weapons. It's there. I'm going to take Titans on the road Thursday Night Football. That's my pick.
All right. Well, I'm going to go the opposite direction. I firmly believe that Mike Tomlin will not lose this game. I think his defense is going to show up in a big way. I think especially against a rookie quarterback. He's only played one game. He's completely unproven. We have no idea. He's going to show up and say, all right, kid, you got to do something. And we'll see what happens. But I firmly believe that this defense is going to turn Will Levis over. I think the Titans losing Kevin Byard is significant for this team. I think he was one of the best corners in the league, and them trading that man away is going to be tough for this defense to make up for that loss. I think that's going to open up lanes in the passing game for Pickett. I understand there's a lot of injury going on, but this team has been dealing with injuries all season. And there's been guys coming in and guys coming out.
To piggyback on your point, Kevin Byard has been the highest rated corner in the NFL since 2020. That's kind of impressive. Anyway.
He's an absolute demon. And a guy like George Pickens or Deontay Johnson, who is, just coming off of an injury, who can be a very good, vital piece in a passing game. Pat Freiermuth in and out of the lineup. They got a 6'9" tight end that they could just throw the ball up to at any given situation. I don't understand why they're not doing that. That being said, I don't trust Will Levis in this matchup. I trust Mike Tomlin more. I trust the experience more. And so give me the Steelers.
All right. Joe, I like the pick. I'm excited to see how the game goes tonight. With that said,
I love Joe.
That's our Thursday Night Football coverage. Hopefully we helped you guys make some picks tonight. We don't have player props this week because I was not interested in a single player prop this week.
Yeah,
but,
there
is Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, maybe.
Take the under.
That would be the only one I would go with.
Yeah, otherwise I don't got a lot.
This would be a game I could 100% see being like 9-6.
Here's the thing, we've done pretty good on our prop picks in the last two lives, but this game I looked at the props and I was like, I don't.
Bro. I called the touchdowns last week. I called Josh Allen for a rushing touchdown.
Did. That said, that's our Thursday Night Football coverage for you guys. The game has started. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, but hopefully you stick around to the end of this. We've got our NFL power ratings to reveal. Week 9 of the light poll. If you're new here, the light poll is our Under the Lights NFL power ratings. We have our own model that spits out a power ratings for us weekly based on how the weeks go. And we switched it up a little bit this week. Normally we have our power ratings and our power rankings. Power rankings is where we take the power ratings and then we rank the teams ourselves. We average them out. That's our official rankings. We're not doing that this week. And we're not doing that going forward. We are only going to have the light Poll Power Ratings, which is statistics jumbled together, averaged out into a power rating score, and it rates the teams from 1 to 32. We're going to react to
I still don't have it.
the light poll. We're going to react to it live as opposed to putting our own rankings out there. So let's get this on the road.
I'm not talking about it.
Light poll.
I'm so upset right now with this thing.
What's up?
Are you serious? The Jets at 26? What is this?
Okay, I haven't even released it yet. Here we are, light poll week 9.
Are you serious?
Bro,
Wow,
Skip.
Is this the wrong one? This is the wrong one. I don't know how the wrong one is up. That's all right. I don't know how that happened. But either way, we've got the Dolphins at number 1. We've got the Niners at number 2, the Bills at 3, the Cowboys at 4, and the Eagles at 5. Those are your top 5 there. Let's talk those for a minute first.
No.
You don't want to talk because the Lions are at 11.
How are the Niners at 2 when they dropped the last three straight games?
And they looked like garbage.
Because you got to look at the flip side. The rest of their season, they've done the exact opposite of what they're doing right now. Tell me after their bye, everyone's fully healthy. They just got Chase Young. Tell me after their bye, they don't beat all the teams below them on a neutral field.
We're not worried about after the bye. We're not worried about after the bye.
The light poll is built to tell you who it thinks would beat who on a neutral field. Right now. I don't disagree with that one. If we're disagreeing with one, why is it not the Dolphins?
Why would it be the Dolphins? Right now, if we're talking right now, we're talking Thursday night game right now. It's the Eagles and the 49ers. The Eagles are winning that game.
That's bold. With trade moves, I kind of like it. But are there any of these we're like really, really agreeing with? I don't like the Ravens at 6. I think they should be higher. I actually like the Eagles down at 5. I don't mind the Cowboys at 4. I don't mind the Cowboys at 4.
I don't mind the Cowboys either.
Outside of that, the Bills should be lower. The Niners should be lower.
Vikings are a little high after that injury.
Top.
I think the Bengals should be higher.
The Raiders are not low enough at 30th. They should be 2 lower.
Yeah, well,
Jets at 26. I do not like Jets at 26. I know the Jets have still been playing ugly football. The light poll favors 2 things pretty heavily. That is explosiveness and certain defensive statistics. The Jets have almost no explosiveness. They do benefit in defense, but beyond that,
they play so great defensively.
The second half, I agree with a lot of it, except for the Bengals. And the Jets. The Bengals and the Jets are the ones
Bengals moved up heavily. Bengals were at 26th last week. They've moved up to 18.
This is good.
Bengals have moved up to 18. Are you trying to show them on your phone? I don't know why I didn't update because I know I put it in, but
would you
technical difficulties happen. Our interns suck. Maybe we should start paying our interns. Subscribe. Anyway,
no, we don't care about them.
Anyway,
our interns. We don't have interns, by the way.
Zach, why do you disagree with Lions at 11? Which of the teams?
Because
no. Level-headed. Which of the teams above them do you think they're beating? Like seriously, I'm not saying they can't, but I'm saying which of the teams ahead of them do you think they're beating?
They're beating the Texans. They're beating the Rams. Chiefs. They're beating the Chargers. They already beat the Chiefs. I think they compete with. Obviously.
Okay.
They could beat the Bills.
I think they could beat the Bills. They almost beat the Bills last year on Thanksgiving. I think they could compete with the Dolphins. I think they could compete with everyone in the top above them. I think they compete with every single team above them.
I think they beat the Rams, and I think they beat the Texans and the Chargers.
The light poll has not necessarily favored the Lions that heavily.
Wait, focus.
That's about the.
Focus.
Whoa, there you go. Pause it right there. You got it. Anyway, thanks, Zach. You can take it down now. Regardless, any others before we move on that are really sticking out? I don't like the Dolphins or the Bills in the top 3. There's a hot take.
Get them out of there.
There's a hot take I've already got for Halfway Heaters on Tuesday's episode, having to do with a certain Dolphins player and MVP, and I'm not talking Tua. having to do with a certain Dolphins player and MVP that I'm really interested to get your guys' thoughts on. But look,
dude, yeah, Devon A-Chain, bro. I
look,
couldn't agree more.
Anyway, look at the Dolphins and who they've played. I mean, against the Bills, that specific player against the Bills had like 3 catches for 50 yards. That specific player against the Eagles had 15 catches for 80 yards. So, I mean, anyway, we'll talk about that on Monday. I don't like the Dolphins up there. I think they are fraudulent, but we'll see. I don't like the Bills at 3. The Bills have lost too many games they shouldn't lose, and they've almost lost a handful more that they shouldn't almost lose. I don't like that team at 3. But the Bills at full strength, the Bills at full strength, I think, could beat anybody here.
Teams, though. The other 2 AFC East teams are ranked 26 and 31.
Yeah?
Can I be honest here?
The Jets should be in the top 15.
What's up, Zach?
God.
I'm going to preface this. I do not hate the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they are a solid football team. Zach Carroll on November 2nd at 7:32 p.m. states, I do not think the Kansas City Chiefs are a bad football team, but they should not be at 7.
They shouldn't even be in the top 10.
Y'all are crazy.
They just lost to the Broncos.
I don't care who they just lost to. There are 17 games, dude.
Okay, and the game they just played against the Broncos before that, they almost lost. They should have lost to the Vikings. They should have lost to the Jets.
They should be
under 500 right now.
Under 500.
And if we're talking about any team beating on any team on any night, let's look at right here where the Broncos are at. I can't read backwards.
Hey, shout out to the Broncos. 19. Broncos moved up heavy. Broncos were like 28 last year.
After the Chiefs just lost to them here.
Come on, power ratings do not work like that. The Broncos and Chiefs are not going to flip.
I'm not saying it should flip, but they just lost to them at home.
Yep.
In one of the hardest stadiums to play at. Russell Wilson and his trash.
You know what that guy says in the intro? Don't blame me, blame the light pole. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the light pole. The light pole. Hopefully, you guys were able to pause and see Zach's screen there. I don't know why I didn't update because I pressed every button before we started and I made sure everything was in check. Apparently, I didn't though. That's an excuse that I'm making up. I didn't. So we're gonna get on to the next segment. There, you got our reactions there. They'll be better next week. Don't screw it up. Let's get to spread to spread and wrap up this live and go watch some football. Spread to spread, if you guys are new here, is the segment where we go head to head against the spreads, trying to figure out which of us can pick them the best. We're going to give you, each of us is going to give you our 9 best bets for this weekend, exclusively spreads. We are going to give you college football and NFL games. Our favorite lines that we saw this week will be popping up on the screen. Without further ado, here is spread to spread. Here are our picks for the week. I can get us started. Get us started,
bro.
My first pick, I got Seahawks plus 5.5 at the Ravens. I know the Ravens have been really good lately, but so have the Seahawks, dude. I think the Ravens are due for a struggle week because of the history of the Ravens. I think the Seahawks can keep this game within a touchdown. I think that Ravens team keeps rolling with wins. They're at home. Gino's just been balling, dude. And the Seahawks team has been balling. Jackson Smith and Jigba is finally starting to emerge. That rookie's having some good games lately. I think the Seahawks can keep this within a touchdown. Give me 5.5 there. I got Rams plus 3 going on the road to take on the Packers. I'm pretty sure we were all pretty confident in this one. This Rams team is better than this. That Packers team has looked horrible the last few weeks.
Yeah, facts.
I think the Rams are easily capable of going on the road and winning this game, much less going on the road and not losing by a field goal. I think Rams plus 3 is a pretty safe bet there. Boys, I got Chiefs minus 1.5. I got the Chiefs beating the Dolphins.
That's absurd.
I got the Chiefs at home taking on the Dolphins. It's absurd until, again, you look at the fact that the Dolphins, when playing anybody worth their salt, has not played good football.
Neither have the Chiefs.
Yes, they have, though. Yes, they have. The Chiefs have marquee wins. The Dolphins have beat the Giants. Congrats. I got Chiefs at home, bouncing back and taking down the Dolphins. I have zero doubt in this one. Patrick Mahomes against Tua, it's not a primetime game, but you got one of those matchups that Patrick is going to ball out in because he always balls out in these matchups. It's like him versus Josh Allen. He could have lost 7 straight before playing Josh Allen. I have Patrick Mahomes beating Josh Allen every matchup. Give me the Chiefs in this one, -1.5. And you only got to win by a field goal at home. I'm taking it. Vikings +4.5 against the Falcons. I think this Vikings team, obviously you've had some injuries here, but you've still got some leadership on this team that can step up. They've got a lot of faith in that rookie quarterback. I think the Vikings have a favorable matchup still against this Falcons team, even on the road. I think you can go in and lose by less than a touchdown there. I think the Vikings go in and win that game outright. I really do. They got a lot of faith in that rookie quarterback. He can move. He can throw the ball on the run. He excels in throwing off of his back foot. That's rare. This dude can move the pocket. He can extend plays. I'm excited to see what he can do there. It's his first start. We've seen a lot of rookies come out in their first starts this year and ball out. Give me Vikings +4.5 there. Into my college picks, I've got Nebraska -3. Nebraska is going on the road to take on Michigan State, who has been a dumpster fire this year. Nebraska's really starting to get it going lately. They're scoring in their last 4 games. They're scoring over 21 points per game. That offense is cooking. You're finally starting to see bits and pieces of a rebuild over there. We're going to see how that continues to go, but I think they've got it in them to beat Michigan State by a field goal. BYU, I'm giving you another chance. You did not come through for me against Texas, but BYU +10 on the road against West Virginia. I think BYU West Virginia is bound to be a close game. Those are 2 pretty evenly matched Big 12 teams. That game, I believe, is late at night. I think that game, you could see a classic. You could see a Big 12 classic in that one. I don't think BYU goes and loses by 2 scores in this game. Missouri +15.5. Every time I bet against the Georgia Bulldogs go out and crush. So I might just will Georgia into a national championship. I don't know. But I think Missouri is a very, very balanced team. I think Missouri can go in and I think Missouri beat this Georgia team with their current injury status. But I think Missouri can also just go in and lose by 14 as opposed to 14 in a field goal. I like that 15.5 point line for Missouri. I think they're a very good team, and we'll find out. Arizona State +11.5. They're taking on Utah. Utah had a really ugly week last week, so I'm a little worried about a bounce back week, but Arizona State has started to hit their stride midseason. I think that's a bad recipe for Utah. Utah is still number, I think, 6 or something, 16 in the country, I believe. They're still looking to get up in that Pac-12 title game. They're not too far behind there. I think they could fumble against this Arizona State team. Maybe not lose, but 11.5 is a big line against a surging team going up against a struggling team. I really like that 11.5 point line. Give me that for Arizona State. I got Iowa State -2.5. The Jayhawks are not ready for that Jack Trice 7 p.m. fireworks going environment. This Iowa State team has started to hit its stride big time in these last few weeks. I don't think Kansas is ready for that. I think Iowa State, Matt Campbell, is ready to step up to a matchup like this and show that these 14 rotating freshmen are ready to ball out. Give me Iowa State.
Is Iowa State favored in this game?
-2.5. Yeah, they opened as 1.5 point dogs.
What?
They opened as 1.5 point dogs.
I wanted to pick that game so bad.
I'm confident in this one, man. I really, really am. It's a nighttime Jack Trice game. I'm stupid confident in this one. I don't think Kansas is ready. And those are my picks, man. If you want to tail them, go for it. Tail them all, though, if you're going to tail them. We're ready to go on a heater this week. I'm just saying. Who's next?
Joe, you go ahead.
Go for it, baby.
All right. I'm going to start off with college football, as I always do. I got the Louisville Cardinals going. I think they're at home against Virginia Tech.
Yep. Against Virginia.
Virginia. I just don't trust this Virginia team. I think this Louisville team is a full team. They play good offense. They play good defense. Their special teams is pretty all right. They are basically destined to go into the ACC championship at this point. That's what this Louisville team's looking like. And that's the faith I have in them. Give me them -9.5. It's at least going to be a 10-point game. Up next, I got the Indiana Hoosiers taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. I don't like this Wisconsin team. They played a garbage game against Iowa earlier this year. They played a garbage game against Ohio State last week or 2 weeks ago. Indiana has been known to cover a spread or two, and don't be surprised if Indiana walks away with this one. Give me Indiana plus 9.5. There's no way they lose by more than 10. Up next, I got the Ole Miss Rebels taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. A&M, I was high on at certain points in the year. I thought their offense could use improvement at certain points. Their defense was touted as one of the best in the country. That being said, I think this Ole Miss team is in a right spot, in a good spot. I think Lane Kiffin's got them moving in the right direction right now. Give me Ole Miss -3. Up next, I'm going against Zach in this one. We got Texas against a Kansas State team who has just entered the rankings, I believe, this week. That being said, I think this Texas team looked really good last week, even with a new quarterback at the helm. No Quinn Ewers, obviously. The defense is playing out of their minds, is what you want from a Texas team. Give me Texas -4 against a good Kansas State team. It's going to definitely be a close one.
For those of you wondering why some lines might be different than the ones we're competing against each other in, it's all about when you see the line. Joe delivered his picks a little bit after Zach, so he got that -4 on Texas. Zach got +4.5 on K-State, but honestly, those picks are both better for each of them because Zach got a bigger spread, Joe got a shorter spread, and Joe picked the favorite, Zach picked the underdog. So anyway, that's why some are different.
Thank you, Ethan. Up next, I got the Arizona Wildcats taking on the UCLA Bruins after that game that UCLA played against USC. Was it? Or
yes.
No,
yeah.
Was it Oregon?
Yes.
Either one.
USC.
They did not look good. I think this Arizona team made USC run, gave USC one of their best games this year. And it was a double overtime game, and one mistake lost Arizona the game. I don't think that'll happen, but give me Arizona +3. I don't think they'll lose by more than 3 points. Up next, I got the Tulane Green Wave, who are now ranked 21.
I love Joe rocking with Tulane every week.
I love
I don't get the
Tulane,
Green
man.
Waves.
Go
I don't
Green
get
Wave.
it. I don't get it.
Taking on the East Carolina University Pirates, I believe they're called.
Yeah. Yep.
East Carolina's not anything special this year. Tulane's too good, and they're obviously ranked. Should run over this East Carolina team. Enough said about that. Up next, I got the New York Football Jets at +3.5, taking on the Chargers, who looked better in the game they played this last week. That being said, I think this Jets team still has a bunch to prove. Obviously, I think Zach Wilson just needs to continue to not lose them games and continue to just not turn the ball over and make sure the offense runs efficiently. The defense will hold enough. I think the defense is the main story in this game. Give me the Jets +3.5. I got the Bengals, which let's see. Zach went against me on the last one, but he's agreeing with me for the Bengals on Monday night.
Spoiler.
Agreeing with me on the Bengals on Monday night game. We got the Bengals. The Bills just don't impress me right now. Josh Allen, we don't know what type of Josh Allen we're going to see at any given week. He's been playing up to his competition. He's been playing down to his competition. This Bengals team is on the rise. Joey B is going to be okay, as we see. They're figuring it out. Jamar's getting involved again, playing great. Give me the Bengals -2. Won't be surprised if it's like a 10-point game, though. And then back to the Rams. I got the Rams at 3.5. I don't see this Rams team losing by more than 3 points, let alone even probably losing this game. Yeah. I think the veteran leadership that is in this Rams organization and having Sean McVay still be the guy, you just can't count out this Rams team. So give me Rams +3.5. That does it. Does it for my picks this week.
I really like that pick, and I wanted to pick it, but Matt Stafford with his UCL and his partial tear in his UCL on his thumb it make me a little nervous. But I still like it. I still like it.
think the Rams are better than the Packers, man.
I think their defense is just going to roll over Jordan Love. I don't trust Jordan Love at all.
I get you. Zach, what you got? You got 9 of them for us. What are they?
I'm starting from the bottom.
Okay.
I'm starting from the bottom. I do what I want.
Zach's starting with college this week. Let's go for it.
I'm starting with college. We're starting with Ohio State. I'm going to start with Ohio State at Rutgers. I like Rutgers to cover the spread. I think Ohio State had a struggle week last week, and I think they are only covered the spread twice on the road.
Yeah.
So I like Rutgers here. I think they still lose, but I don't think they lose by 18.5. Moving on to the left here, Penn State at Maryland. Man, it's throwing me off just looking at it too. We got Penn State at Maryland. I think this Maryland team is not very good, and this Penn State team is looking for kind of a statement victory after they just struggled against Ohio State and a couple weeks ago, and I think they come out and kind of put the pedal to the metal here and kind of blow out this Maryland team. To disagree with not both of you, but I think Ethan, you agreed with me on.
You're going against Joe. I did agree with you on Tuesday.
You agreed with me on Tuesday. Going against Joe, I think Kansas State is rolling. They're off back-to-back 40-plus point games. They've put up 40 in every winning game except for one. They scored 38 against Texas Tech. I think Texas without Quinn Ewers is going to struggle a little bit against this Kansas State defense. They're picking up and hitting their stride. And I think Kansas State kind of win. I think they win this game, and I think it's a one-score game, but I think they win it. Moving on to Wake Forest at Duke. I think just like last week, Duke becomes one-dimensional. Man, I was started yelling because of what we were talking about before. I think Duke goes one-dimensional again, and I think Wake Forest can kind of handle that. But I think the Blue Devils end up pulling it off, but I don't think it's a 12-point game. Now we're going to the top. We're going to the top. It's confusing me looking over.
You're going to Dolphins now?
Yeah, we're going to the Dolphins because it's confusing me. I'm never doing this again. I'm starting from the top from now on. Going against Ethan here because he is a psychopath. I think Miami wins this game. I think that offense is good. I think Patrick Mahomes looks not good. Don't think the Chiefs are a bad team. I just think at home, for some reason this year at home, they are struggling. I don't think Taylor Swift shows up, put it in the title. I think Miami wins this game. And I don't know. Hey, I got faith in this Miami team.
Isn't that crazy? I might have to put her in. I might have to edit this, put her in the thumbnail. Isn't that crazy? Taylor Swift's not there. Broncos just obliterate.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, continue.
That's what I'm saying. Next game, Tampa Bay at Houston. I think Houston bounces back. Joe's sleeping. I think Houston bounced back against a struggling Tampa Bay team. They had the shocking loss to Carolina last week on the last-second field goal. CJ Stroud kind of had a little bit of an off game. I think he bounces back against a struggling Tampa Bay team. And give me Houston minus 2.5. This one is agreeing with Joe. I am going to side with him on this one. I don't think the Bills look that good. I still like them down the stretch to win, but I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year. I think this has potential to be very similar to that Bills-Vikings game last year, where it literally came down to the wire, and then all hell broke loose in that game. I think the Bengals win this game by a field goal at home. Give me the Bengals. Then we got the Chargers at the Jets. I think the Chargers are hitting their stride. Their defense is kind of starting to click. Justin Herbert I think he's due for a good game. I think Austin Eckler's finally starting to play really well. He's finally pretty much 100% healthy. I think the Jets defense struggles a little bit in this one, and I think the Chargers take advantage of it, and they win this game by a field goal. And now to get to tonight's game, I like Tennessee. Picked it. I did. I think Oh, you did switch. Okay, you did switch. I did switch. On my screen, I have Pittsburgh to cover, but the more I looked at it, man, I think Derrick Henry, and I think that offense is going to just thrive against this Pittsburgh struggling defense. Give me Tennessee to win this game. I have them -3, but I think it's a 2.5-point spread now. Give me Tennessee to win this game outright.
I love it.
And that's going to do it for me. It is. I am never doing that again. That threw me off so much.
That can't go out of order.
I was like, is there another one? And then I looked forward and I got Wake Forest and the Duke Blue Devils, baby.
Then you slipped it in. Anyway, either way, that's gonna do it. Those are our picks. I forgot to say before, we had a whole record change here. Joe, while yes, he did miss a week, Joe is now in first place. Joe, we are all tied points wise at 6.25 points. Again, the records threefold. If you finish first, you are 1-0-0. If you finish second, you are 0-1-0. If you finish third, you get it. First place is worth 1.75 points. Second place is worth 1.5. Third place is worth 1.25. We are all tied at 6.25 points right now. Tiebreaker is win percentage. Joe is winning in that. Zach, we are 1% off of each other. I am in second. You are in third.
Bro, that's because I get gypped out. Literally last week, there's an onside kick, and they go down the field and kick a field goal to cover the spread, or to whatever it's
Zach,
called, reverse cover the spread.
welcome.
And then you got a last-second field goal to beat the Texans.
Welcome to the world of sports betting. Welcome to backdoor covers. Anyway,
That's what it's called.
That is
Just
going
absolutely crazy.
to do it for Under the Lights Live, episode 5. We're like 5 and 8. We're a good 13 episodes into our new podcast journey here. If you caught our podcast last year, we're like 50 some episodes in, but those don't exist anymore. Don't go looking. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's gonna do it for the live. We love you guys. Hopefully you guys are gonna go enjoy Thursday Night Football now. We will see you back again. Love. We're gonna see you on Friday night for a different podcast, but you don't know about that yet. We're going to see you Tuesday night, back with some more football talk. We're going to recap the weekend. We love you guys. We will see you then.
The works.
Peace.